When you visit a cardiologist with chest pain, they look at your heart. Orthopedic doctors examine your bones, and neurologists map your nervous system. Yet, psychiatry stands alone as a medical specialty that almost never physically examines the organ it treats. Many practitioners still rely on methods from the 1840s, diagnosing patients based solely on conversations and clusters of behavioral symptoms. This reliance on guesswork carries severe risks. Conditions like anxiety, depression, and ADHD lack a universal physical cause. Prescribing medication based on a behavioral guess alone can precipitate a disaster. Medical imaging offers a way to move past these symptoms. We have to see what happens to our understanding of mental health when we actually look at the physical brain. Treating the mind via behavioral symptoms alone is effectively treating the body blindfolded. It invites misdiagnosis because behavior is an expression of the underlying problem rather than the problem itself. Over the last few decades, researchers have built a massive database using SPECT imaging, a nuclear medicine study that tracks blood flow and activity. This provides a direct map between physical hardware and human behavior. This diagram illustrates the physical reality of that map. A healthy scan shows full, even, symmetrical activity. Conversely, strokes, Alzheimer's disease, and drug abuse leave behind visible holes of activity and physical deterioration. Visual data provides evidence symptom guessing cannot account for. Two patients can describe identical depression symptoms, yet their brains tell entirely different stories. One scan reveals dangerously low activity, while the other shows a brain practically overheating, working too hard to turn off its thoughts. Visual data makes effective treatment possible. Interventions must be tailored to the specific state of the individual's physical brain, rather than a generic behavioral label. Undiagnosed, mild traumatic brain injuries are a hidden driver of severe psychiatric issues. People often seek help for temper problems, addiction, and panic attacks, never realizing an old physical head injury is the root cause. We see this acutely with returning combat veterans. Treating these soldiers with behavioral therapy while ignoring the physical function of their injured brains is a looming disaster. Consider the extreme case of a 9-year-old boy named Andrew, who began attacking other children on the baseball field and drawing pictures of mass violence. A traditional psychiatric approach would have simply medicated him in the dark. A scan revealed the visual truth, a cyst the size of a golf ball pressing into the left temporal lobe. It explained every behavioral anomaly the boy displayed. No amount of therapy or psychiatric medication could have reached that cyst. Once surgeons removed the physical mass, his violent behavior vanished completely, allowing him to grow into a healthy, functional adult. Behavior is merely an expression of an underlying issue. True rehabilitation requires identifying and fixing the actual physical hardware inside the skull. Tens of thousands of scans have confirmed a vital lesson. You are not stuck with the brain you currently have. Even brains with extreme, long-term impact damage can be rehabilitated. A landmark study of active and retired football players demonstrated that athletes with severe brain trauma could improve through a dedicated rehabilitation program. Damage is not a permanent sentence. 80% of the players in the study saw measurable physical improvements in their blood flow, memory, and overall mood. This healing is driven by neuroplasticity, the brain's inherent ability to physically modify its own wiring and adapt in response to experience. To trigger this adaptation, you must follow a strict 2-step protocol. Intense focus acts as the entry point to initiate the plasticity, but the actual rewiring, the physical forging of new neural connections, only occurs later, during periods of deep rest and sleep. The brain operates as a dynamic system, physically reorganizing its structure in direct response to your focus and your recovery. Beyond healing from trauma, daily brain optimization relies on regulating your natural neurochemical cocktail. The balance of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins dictates your baseline state of mind. Implementing deliberate daily habits, driven by intense focus and protected by sleep, naturally boosts these chemical levels, elevating both your mood and your daily energy. Treating the brain as an adaptable physical organ moves us beyond simple chemistry. It grants the power to rewrite our own lives and the lives of the generations that follow.